apply flipped learning. Flipped learning in this class, what happens? It is a blended learning where you will be using online resources, and also you will be using classroom also. In the classroom, we use for sharing, for interaction, and to discuss higher level topics. So in blended learning, this flipped learning is a combination of two kinds of learning. One is online learning, the second is a classroom learning. So yesterday, 2 days back, one of the teachers asked Professor Natarajan, sir, we are not finding time for interactions in the classroom. We don't have fine. We are not having time to cover the syllabus, and we are not unable to provide the discussions and interactions. You please remember the reply of Professor Natarajan. He told that in Western universities they are using flipped learning. In flipped learning, what happens is the student goes through the material you sent in the form of a video, or which you send in the form of an audio, or which you send in the form of a document or a PDF file. He goes through the file, he goes through the video, he goes through the audio, he understands the things, he understands the basic things, he understands the aspects of the first and second level, he understands the remembering and understanding parts in the house itself. Then he comes to the classroom. In the classroom, you will have interactions. You divide them into teams, you divide them into pairs, and then you will be having interactions, and you will be discussing third and fourth levels of thinking levels. So you'll be discussing third and fourth levels in the classroom, and first and second levels at home. Please see here, if you want to apply flipped learning, the basic thing is the students should have self-efficacy. They should feel responsible. It is my responsibility to learn, because I have to spend 2 hours going to the material at home. This is important. The second thing is, if he doesn't understand it, he should think that I can understand this, I can understand this. The student has to think like this, and then the student should have a growth mindset. I can improve myself, my intelligence is not limited. I can become a better and better learner, I can become a better and better student. This kind of mindset should be developed in the students, and self-efficacy should be developed in the students, and then the students should know about their learning styles, and then they should be able to think positive. And when these habits are inculcated in the students and in the teachers, then if you apply flipped learning, it solves the problems of attendance, it solves the problem of disinterest, it solves the problem of boredom, it solves the problem of low pass and low grades, and OBE also will be achieved. You will be achieving higher level of learning outcomes. So this is a very, very interesting methodology. By using this methodology, you can solve many problems. Unfortunately, we are not aware of this kind of flipped learning till COVID-19 has affected us. I repeat once again, flipped learning will solve many problems. It has the problems of time constraint. It solves the attendance problem, boredom problem, higher learning outcome problem. It increases passes. It increases better grades, better understanding, better employment. But if you want to apply this, the students need to have self-efficacy. He should take responsible when he is working at home. Even if he doesn't understand, he should think, I can, even if I fail, I can learn it, I can learn it. you should put effort. This is self-efficacy is a mental setup. This is an attitude. This is a mental map. And then growth mindset, people think I can always grow. I may not be understanding this topic today. If I put effort, I can understand this. And then the student also has to understand learning stage. There are three stages. I will describe that later stage. And then unlearn wrong habits and wrong beliefs. Online is useless. This kind of thing should be unlearned. The teacher, in this case, the teacher is not the boss. Student is the boss. This is a student-centric learning. It also enhances not the it doesn't rote learning. It doesn't accept rote learning. You will have constructive learning, collaborative learning, cooperative learning in this case. So the higher level of pedagogies you are applying in this method. So when you apply these things, just like a rocket, learning happens, my dear friends. When these things are taken care of, then flipped learning can be applied in the classroom very effectively. So it solves all the problems. So I have two goals as an expert in teacher training and an expert in student training. One is I want to enhance life skills in students, learning skills in students, also flipped learning in classroom. I want to train and mentor teachers and students so that they can apply these ideas in their institutes. Whatever I know, because I am a retired person, I understand all this uh, knowledge of addressing around 3 lakh people, conducting around 3,000, 4,000 sessions at around 150 institutes throughout India. I understand these are the two problems in our education institutes. It is not only the problem of quality of the teachers, qualifications of the teachers, and the quality of the students. The other thing is they lack life skills, they lack learning skills, and teachers do not know about the flipped learning. They do not know about learning styles. When they understand these things, extraordinary things will happen. So in flipped learning, we send a video to the student at home. We send a video or an audio or a document through our website or some method you send to the student. At home, the student reads or listens or sees the video or the audio or the document. He understands about the topic at the first and second level. So at home itself, the student learns at a level 1 and 2. These are lower order thinking. This doesn't require much of a genius to understand these things. These do not require the help from the teachers. So this goes on. So once he comes to the college, in the classroom, each student shares what he learns. To a one pairing will happen. The student teaches what he learned about the topics they share, and then they form groups, and in the form of groups they share their knowledge. They discuss about solutions of new problems. So there is a lot of cooperative learning, there is a lot of interaction, there is a lot of collaboration. In this case, you are having collaboration, you are having a lot of peer learning, equal learning. Student learns from the other student easily, and student and the teacher has a barrier. Whatever the teacher teaches, some students may not be able to receive the information from the teacher, but they can get the same information from the student. There is a peer one learning. What he knows teaches to this person teaches to this person. So the knowledge crystallizes, it gets strengthened. And not only that, they also share in the form of groups. They discuss the topics, they interact, they solve a group solution of problems. There is a cooperation. collaboration, there is a construction of knowledge. There is a construction of knowledge. These students are constructing knowledge, not taking the information from the that is not a mechanical learning, it is not a rote learning. The students are creating knowledge, they are constructing knowledge. This is a higher level of pedagogy. So by this method the time problem is solved, because the student is working at home for 1 or 2 hours, and then instead of only the teacher sending information and the student taking information, that is a rote kind of learning. It is a teacher centered learning. That in that case there is not much of construction of learning. There is no collaboration, there is no creation, there is no peer learning. But in this case, my dear friends, there is a peer learning and all the great things are happening. So please try to understand, this is the basic of flipped learning. But the problem for the teacher is, the teacher has to create a video or a audio or a document and send to the student. The second thing is, the teacher has to organize the classroom, and he has to facilitate, he has to guide, so that discussions happen, interactions happen, even short talks, even teacher can talk, but that happens only in the short talks. As a trainer of many people, as a person conduct training programs, in training programs are very effective, because there is a lot of one-one learning, and there is a lot of collaborative learning, there is a lot of team learning in training programs. That is why even after 2 days of training you will have extraordinary outcomes. So please try to understand, in this case they are using the standard training methods which happen in training of the employees, like that is a one-to-one by experts. So my dear friends, this is about flipped learning. And plus, please try to understand one thing: communication is the responsibility of the teacher. If the student doesn't understand, means it is not the problem of the student. The teacher has not taught better, because of the reason the student cannot understand. That should be the attitude of the teacher, that should be the attitude of the teacher. I tell you a small story. A professor of communication asked his driver to take him to university auditorium, but the driver took him to a beach. Whose fault is this? It is the fault of the professor. Professor has to check whether the person has understood or not. He has to clearly communicate. The professor has to clearly communicate the driver, I have to go to the auditorium, and you should, otherwise the driver may understand some other thing, and he may do some other thing, so the outcome is not reached. It is very important, my dear friends. It is your responsibility for the teacher to communicate. And please try to understand, communication happens because of several channels. We tell in the form of words, you tell in the form of words written on the board, and you say some metaphors, comparisons, and you will be using several methods. The thing you have to take care of is, all these things should be in union, there should be in alignment. What I say in words, what I show with my hand, and what I write on the board should be the same. One for the lighter side, I think that in many cases the teachers are taught about many things, but the teachers are not taught about effective communication. This is one of the problems of many teachers. Do not have, they do have lot of content, they have a lot of content, but they do not communicate. They also do not know how to communicate in a correct way. So This is a major problem. If the teacher has to succeed, the teacher also has to understand how to communicate. One person was asked, what is, how many are Pandavas? He said, Pancha Pandavas are like four. Pancha Pandavas are three, like the four supports of the cot. Three, they are, he's saying that three support of the cot, bed. The bed has four cots, but he's saying three cots. And he has shown two fingers with the hand and wrote one on the board. Please try to understand, he wrote one on the board, has shown two fingers, and he has compared with the wrong thing. The actual thing is 5. He has given wrong answer in 4 ways. Communication, if you want to be effective, it should be in so many channels, so many modalities, so many models, but they should be aligned. They should communicate one under the same point. Please try to understand. As a teacher, you have to understand. I will be talking about in future about learning styles of students. This is a very, very important topic. If you understand learning styles of students, you can have very good flipped learning technology. You see here, bored students. Students are bored. One person wrote a book, Everything Men Know About Women. And in the book, you know what is inside the book? Inside the book, all the 100 pages are white pages. That means what men know about women is nothing. In the same way, I say what teachers know about their students is very, very less. We do not know about their learning styles. We do not know about their attitudes. We do not know about their problems. So we are unable to connect to the student. Please try to understand. If you want to effectively communicate, the important thing is you should know about the students, in what way the student learns, and in what way the student thinks, what motivates him. These things you should know. Then you can connect to the student. When you are connected to the student, it is very easy to communicate to the student. I was telling you there are 3 important concepts. If you want to have effective communication in a flipped classroom or an ordinary classroom, especially in a flipped classroom, if the student doesn't have the growth mindset, if it doesn't have self-efficacy, if it doesn't have learning styles, what happens? It will be a failure. It is not due to not due to the problem with flipped learning, not due to the problem with other reasons. The problem is the student should have growth mindset. The student should have self-efficacy. He should take responsibility. When you send the videos to the student, the audio to the student, or the document to the student, or a PPT to the student should know. Even if he doesn't understand, he should put effort to understand it. So first of all, you have to enhance the self-efficacy of the student. Next one, the student has 3 different kinds of learning. Some learn by auditory, they listen. Some by visual, see pictures or words. Some people by doing, this is called as the kinesthetic. And some people do by read and write. So the teacher has to send information in all the 3 channels. The what material you send to the student and what material you present in the classroom should have some sound, some words, lecture, some charts or something written on the board, or some experimental or some activity based things, and then only the student gets interested. If flipped learning is to succeed, the student should know about, he should have high self-efficacy, he should have about learning styles, and the teacher also need to have high self-efficacy and high learning styles. Initially he faces problems, even then he has to continue and then only flipped learning works. There is no problem. Flipped learning is easy to implement, but the problem of the mind of the student and the teacher. The teacher has to accept it is possible, and the student has to think it is possible. And then the other one is a growth mindset. The teacher should feel by doing this, I am growing in my life, and my intelligence and skills are not limited. With effort, I can grow in every area of life. And in Microsoft, what happened was when Satya Nadella became the CEO of Microsoft, his wife told, "Grow, our daughter is not learning well. I I read a book on growth mindset. Then I applied the principles with our daughter. She has improved. In the same way, my dear husband, implement the growth mindset in your employees." And then Microsoft invited professors from Stanford, and they taught all their employees about growth mindset. They mentored their employees, and what happened was, in 5 years, the value of Microsoft enhanced by 5 to 6 times. It is the growth was higher than Facebook or Apple or any other big company. My dear friends, by just enhancing the growth mindset, Microsoft became a great company. Virat Kohli failed initially in 2014 in England. Then he talked to his mentor Sachin Tendulkar. He asked Virat Kohli to change the way he stands, the foot position, other things, and he applied those principles. He does a lot of exercise, a lot of mental exercises, and because of this reason, so Virat Kohli is a reasonably good player. Is not a greatest player, but because of his growth mindset, my dear friends, Virat Kohli is going to break many records of highly talented, the great batsman. Sachin Tendulkar, my dear friends, an average student with the growth mindset can beat a good student with a fixed mindset. My growth mindset, if the teachers develop, understand about these three things, they they know about themselves, they improve these things in themselves, and they inculcate these skills in the students. Suppose if you want to take up flipped learning, first of all, have a session on this, have a session on learning style, self-efficacy, growth mindset, and then go for this. When you go for the student has already taken responsibility. The student has taken responsibility to, and he also thinks, I can grow in life, I will put effort, and then the program will be very, very successful. So I was telling about the problems of classroom learning by using and methods. Please try to time not sufficient for activities. This question was asked to Dr. Natarajan yesterday by one of the lady teachers. Faculty member asked this question, and then he said, time is not sufficient. Please try to understand, in Western countries, they are using flipped learning. In flipped learning, the student spends 2 hours before he comes to the class. Already he knows the basics of the thing. So in the classroom, the teacher will discuss and make the students discuss, interact, make some projects like that in the classroom. So the problem is students and teachers spend 2 hours to learn and plan at home, so the problem is solved. Low attendance and bored students. When you have flipped learning, it is the students are the teacher. It is not a one-way teaching, only the teacher is teaching. In this case, what is happening is the students are interacting, they are meeting each other, talking. They like that, they love that. I conducted thousands of teacher training programs among students. I have taken 200, 300, 400 students at a time, but even then there is a problem, because all the students are involved in discussions as small groups. As a trainer, I understand when you allow students to interact and discuss, they will be very, very happy. They will be very, very much interested. They learn more also, and no question of low attendance. I used to have 8, 6 to 9 sessions with 90% attendance. So 90% students used to attend all sessions. So when you make it activity oriented, there will be more learning and there is no boring and no attendance. No, in our classroom, what we are doing is we are teaching first and second level of teaching, and second and first and in classroom we are teaching first and second levels, and at home we are giving 3 and 4 levels. The student is learning only first and second levels, and he is not learning 3 and 4 levels. There is a low level of lower level thinking is developed among the students. So your objectives are not realized, so NBA accreditation may become a little bit difficult. When you use flipped learning, it becomes very, very easy. NBA accreditation, getting outcomes is very, very easy. And poor results and grades, because students are not learning well. But when you have interactions, what is happening is the students learn more and do things better. Unemployed enter because there is more rote learning. In our ordinary classrooms, there is rote learning, the teacher teaching, the student by hearting those things. There is no construction of knowledge, and there is no interactive learning of knowledge. There is no collaboration. So because of this reason, the students are not either getting unemployed or underemployed. Sometimes they are not even completing degree also. So as I told you, if you teach them the three things, one is self-efficacy, learning styles, and growth mindset, you get a better outcomes. Not only that, you are using a higher level of pedagogy. You are having constructivism. So construction of knowledge is happening, not like rote learning. So higher level of learning is also happening by this method, and the students can create, the students can innovate, the students, engineering students or other students are problem solvers. What the world needs, what the employer needs is the problem solvers. When you solve a problem, you are adding value to the service. When you are adding more value to the service, you are getting more credit, you are getting more money, and you are getting more returns, you are getting more growth in your life. So my dear friends, so flipped learning is going to solve these problems. So, so actually, this is an article in India Today. Can India flip? That the problem is flipped learning is a great concept and it works wonderfully. It works wonderfully. There is no question of it failing. But the problem is, can India implement this? Can India implement this? If India can implement this, yes, wonder will take place. We have got 25%. We have got India population, 65% population, young population. You should make them. They make 21st century India century. Recently, Amazon CEO Baju said that this is 21st century is the century of India. Can India become 20? Can no? There is no guarantee. If Indians are more creative, more productive, then India is, this century is going to be India's century. If the all the youth are rote learners, mechanical learners, and if they are not creative, this youth is going to become a big burden. They will become attenders, they will become workers in different countries. But if Indians 60, around among the 65%, around 20%, 30% of youth become creative, productive, innovative, then what happens is these people create other nadellas, other Pichai Sundarams and other Narayana Murtis, and they are going to create wealth in the country, and they are going to make India a great country. Whether India becomes a great country or not depends on how our youth are learning, how they are trained, whether we are training them to be creative and problem solvers, or we are making them rote learners. This makes a lot of difference. Flipped learning is going to change in this way. See, what is flipped learning? I want to give you some of the inputs in this. In ordinary traditional learning, the teacher is giving a lecture. The students are uh, the teachers are just listening one way. There is a one way communication, no role for the student except last 5-10 minutes questioning. In some classes, in many classes, the students get so much bored, they do not even ask questions, and at home he reads. So first and second level are taught here, and third and fourth level the student is doing here. So do you understand this? So homework, traditional learning is classroom, at home he is working. This is the thing. But in flipped learning, you are sent a video or an audio or a document or FDP. The student is viewing this, learning from this at home. He is spending 2-3 hours at home with the material, and he is prepared. He comes to the class. Now there is interaction. There are more and more activities, one activities, 4-5 group activities. The teacher may give a short lecture, short presentations, but is not one sided. There is more interaction. The teacher is not a lecturer, he is a facilitator. Lecturer is a very wrong term. Lecturer means go on giving lecture for the entire 1 hour. One-sided communication. But what you need is the students have to interact with the teacher and among themselves, so that they learn at the third and fourth levels, and they can do projects at fifth and sixth level later on, outside the classroom or companies or other ways during internships like that. Please try to understand. Here also I showed different kind of pictures. You see this person's face, lecture mode, no smile, and here there is a smiling face, and the students are smiling. Here the students are bored, the teacher is bored. This is the ordinary traditional classroom. This is a flipped classroom. So flipped classroom, what we do is we will be sending, we record videos. We record videos or we record audios. There are several methods. You can use your Zoom. You can use Zoom to create your videos and send them to students. Or you can record your audio of the lecture and send to the students. Or you can send the material to the student directly, or through internet you can send those things, or podcast reading material you can send. So this is the first step. The student starts learning at home. He needs to have self-efficacy. He needs to have growth mindset. Then only the students will study on his own at home. There are, in some cases, what happened was the students are asking, sir, you are giving all the burden on the students. We have to learn at home. Why don't you give a lecture at the classroom? We listen to you and learn. So unless the students develop the self-efficacy, growth mindset, they know about learning styles, what happens is the student will not read, will not learn. When he comes to classroom, he puts a blank face. So once these students has a high self-efficacy, good growth mindset, he learned, came to the classroom, and then here already learned first and second levels, and here he has got prior knowledge. Now here there is a interactive, collaborative learning, because there is a constructive learning here, because groups are learning together, one-to-one pairs are learning here. So my dear friends, extraordinary things are happening in the classroom, because they are learning at higher levels. They are learning at higher levels in the classroom, and in the classroom they are not bored because there is more interaction, because they are meeting their friends, because they are talking to their student friends. They want to come and meet their friends, interact with them. There is more attendance is, and there's better attendance. Not only better attendance, they are learning more, they are feeling happy, and they are learning at higher levels. They are getting better grades in the examination. I'm sure going to show you results at a later stage. My dear friends, extraordinary things are going to happen. Not many people think very difficult. No, not at all difficult. Just if a 1 hour lecture can be recorded in 7 to 8 minute lectures, 1 hour lecture can be condensed in 15 minutes lecture. That's more than sufficient, and the students can repeatedly see. If he doesn't understand, he can see it again. Whatever he doesn't, that part, suppose he doesn't understand point number 10, he can see the point number 10 2 or 3 times. He can understand, he can talk to his friends, he can talk to the teachers before coming to the class. So what is happening is, the student is learning a lot in the room itself, in the home itself. But there are some problems. There may be problem of internet problem, may be there. The student may not be having self-efficacy. The student is not having internet. When the student comes early to the college, he sometimes, some people do that, and they come, when they come here in the college itself, they go to the material and look into that. So this way, there are two different divisions. One learning at home, where he learns at 1 and 2 level. In the classroom, 3 and 4 level, more interactive, more interesting, more learning, more collaborative, more cooperative. That is the purpose of education. The purpose of education is, tomorrow these people should be working at 3 and 4 levels. They should be collaborating. They should be creating new knowledge, not writing in the examination whatever the teacher has taught, not mugging. Please try to understand this. Because of this reason, because the students are talking to each other, their communication skills are increasing, and they are able to communicate, they are able to present, they are able to solve problems. Tomorrow they will not be underemployed, they will be employed and better employed. They will have a lot of growth anywhere in the world. Then our engineers are welcome. Those students where flip learning is applied, those students, when they go outside also, they will be very, very successful in job, in life also. They will be more confident. And my dear friends, flipped learning is not very difficult. The first is producing the videos and send them. So first of all, you decide what part I will create video, what part I will make in the discussion. Has to plan the arrangement of the classroom. These things is not very difficult. Flipped learning advantages. Let us see what are the advantages of flipped learning. Flipped learning empowers young minds. Flipped learning empowers young minds to take ownership for their learning and instant learning outcomes. And then learning outcomes are happening at 3 and 4 level also, and they get better performance results and academic pursuits and tests as observed in social experiments. In Texas, they did experiment. There is better performance results in many ways. The students are more interested and more engaged. And then the teacher has a PowerPoint formatting, classroom discussion, and adopt to differential content delivery. Here there is a different content is delivered, videos are delivered, audios are delivered. Not only the teacher lecture, many things are there, and the student has to adopt to do these things. The teachers also have to adopt to these new
Sir,
developments.
is there on,
Please.
sir? Hello, sir.
So to summarize, my dear friends, flipped learning will solve many problems of education in engineering colleges or elsewhere, and it is going to create better pass results, better grades, and very easy to get NBA accreditation. And the students get better employment. They will not be underemployed, they will be better employment. Because they know about teamwork, they will be successful in their job. They get promoted and they can start their own companies. In every way, this will be useful. But there are preparation is important. The preparation is the teacher should develop the growth mindset. The teacher should develop self-efficacy. The teacher should know about learning styles. And these things should be taught to the students before the whole flipped learning starts. You understand this? So the student should be prepared. The mind should be prepared because the mind is very important. The mind, their mindset is important. Their attitude is important. Next, the teacher has some problems. The teacher has to divide what area I will make videos or audios, and what area I will put a discussion. What kind of arrangement, seating arrangement I will have. These things the teacher has to take care of. And in the initial 1 year, it may look difficult, but soon it becomes easy. One more thing, in our classes, there are 2 or 3 or 4 sections are there. 4 teachers teaching the same subject. Sometimes 4 different teachers are teaching the same subject. When the different teachers are teaching the same subject, they can collaborate, they can work as a team. Video production, planning, all these things can be planned jointly. Some people are very experts in making videos, some people are experts in making ppts, some people are experts in talking. So use all the resources and you can have a common things. Suppose some electronics communication ECE one paper is there. There are 4 sections in the class in the college. So 4 teachers are different teachers. The 4 different teachers can work together and then it becomes very easy. Now I will show you a video. Please see the video here about the collaboration. Please see the video.
You need both to get a nut, but they're separated by a see-through barrier.
2 monkeys in 2 different compartments.
Vulcan has the rock, but can't reach the nuts.
And one has got the nuts, the other has got the flint.
Nuts, but knows he can't eat.
It has got the flint. So understand, the flint is with the other one. This is the flint, this is the rock. So unless both the things are there, the nuts cannot be used. So yes, it is giving the rock there now. Both are cooperating. Yes, they are working together. They are cooperating, they are collaborating.
He doesn't have his friend's skill.
So with effort, it is opening.
And Vulcan is getting impatient. The flint is finally through the lid.
Yes.
But can Virgil be trusted to share the nuts?
The nuts have come out now. Yes.
With Vulcan out of reach,
now there are 4 nuts in that. Yes, now they shared. Now there is a trust between the 2 things. They shared equally.
Vulcan and Virgil.
I will show this again. Please, I will discuss this. Here there are 2 compartments separated by a glass door. And in one compartment, the one monkey, other compartment, another monkey. In one compartment, the box with the nuts is there. The other one is a flint is there. Flint which helps the box to open. Now, unless they jointly work together, they cannot open this. Once they open this, now this one monkey can take all the things or share. If they share, trust is built and collaboration continues. Otherwise, collaboration will not continue. My dear friends, what I want to communicate here in this class is, in this video is, many times teachers can collaborate and produce videos, teaching material, and they can do it very easily. Alone it may be difficult. When suppose computer programming is there, several teachers are teaching one subject, they can collaborate, they can cooperate in making videos, making material and activity materials, and then it becomes very, very easy. The major problem for flipped learning is our mindset. Initially we may face problem, but once I want to show the video once again because it has a lot of it. Many people said it is extraordinarily good.
Of hazelnuts and the flint that's needed to open the lid. You need both to get a nut, but they're separated by a see-through barrier. Vulcan has the rock, but can't reach the nuts. Virgil has the nuts, but knows he can't eat them without a rock. Vulcan quickly offers the tool. He must hope Virgil is
Yes, it has given the rock or flint to open that.
him in on the spoils. Virgil is struggling. He doesn't have his friend's skill.
This is a win-win approach.
The flint is finally through the lid, but can Virgil be trusted to share the nuts?
Many times we don't share the credit.
It must be tempting to take
Yes. It wants its share. And now the other one.
3 nuts.
Yes.
Fair share.
Fair, equal share. Now there is, when there is share, it is a win-win. This is called as a win-win approach.
The system. But can
And
captains really have a sense of fair play?
yes, both got this. In this case, we learn two things. When many times one cannot solve the problem. The second thing, two people have to collaborate to solve the problem. Third one, after getting the result, both should share. In this case, sometimes we do 3-4 people do one thing and one person gets all the credit. So the next time, all the other people will not cooperate with this person. So to build trust, you have to share the credit equally, share the results equally. When you share the results equally, trust is built up. And then again, you will repeat the win-win approach again and again. Otherwise, the second time, the other monkey will not give the flint for the first monkey. My dear fellow teachers, what I want to tell is, we have a lot of ego. We think that we are more knowledgeable and we are more experienced and like that. So we don't want to collaborate or cooperate with our other people. Suppose even if you cooperate with them, one of the people will take the share. We should come out of our ego. And if you collaborate, what happens? Flipped learning happens very easily in the classroom. You get better results and the students like you, the students get better employment, the colleges get good name, and the colleges survive. The survival of the colleges, many of the colleges, around 80-90% of the colleges in India are self-financed. If they have to get their salary, they have to see that their students get good learning, good grades, and they get employment and they grow in their life. So flipped learning is a simple solution. Flipped learning is a simple solution. By using this, you can get very good results. You have to cooperate. This is important here. Now we'll come back to the presentation again. So in schools and other schools, there is a problem of internet and other problems are there. And please try to you see the American. Please see this. If you take India's population is around 15%, and its income is 3.2%. The GDP contribution of India is 3.2%. It is 119th ranked in the world. And first to 17th century India, the richest one, its GDP is 25 to 30% of the whole world. India and China are contributing 50 to 60% for the world's GDP up to 17th century. Now India's contribution 3.2%. My dear friends, if this has to increase, the quality of the output of the students from the institutes has to increase. India's youth population is 25% of the world. 1 in every 4 human beings is an Indian. So please try to understand, if all the 25% Indians become more creative, please try to understand, we will have 10%, 15% GDP. That means 200, 300% is still possible. Very easily it is possible. And if you can, this happens in the classroom also. Unless you enhance the abilities of the students and teachers, the outcomes will not be good. Flipped learning is the simplest method. It is the simplest method to make India a great country. Let myself repeat once again. If all the engineering teachers and all the other teachers effectively utilize flipped learning, our youth will be very, very highly skilled, highly valuable people, and they will be easily employable. They become leaders. You can make leaders in the classroom. Flipped learning creates leaders also. It will do wonders if you can implement this. If you can implement this, you are having higher level of learning. Your knowledge construction is happening in flipped learning. In our classroom, rote learning is happening. Whatever the teacher utters, we write in our notebook, and we just go on, we omit it. Here you are creating knowledge. Because of this reason, this is a very, very important topic. In our college, we are organizing this. 2 more colleges, I am mentoring those colleges to implement flipped learning in those colleges. I am going to conduct programs for the teachers. Later on, I will be coaching them. I will be mentoring them. I will be advising them. I will be working with them. So no, I'm not highly knowledgeable, but I have the attitude. I have the desire to help people. So, my dear friends, I want more and more of the teachers participating here. Apply the flipped learning. We will share resources. We will share our experiences. I request Samsung to coordinate and collaborate so that a group is created and we implement this kind of learning in our classrooms. In our colleges also, we can see this happens. And some of senior people are there. They can see that this happens in their regions. Again, I'm giving that boarding classes. Please see here, flipped learning means before classroom, the student is the Bloom's taxonomy is flipped. You see this person is flipped, head down and legs top. In the same way, before the classroom, the student learns remembering and understanding, and during the classroom, he learns applying, analyzing. So what is happening? The reverse is happening. What is happening in our regular classroom? The first, I will show the next one. In the regular classroom, remembering and understanding are happening in the classroom, and then applying an analysis is happening at the house doing problems. But here it is reversed. Before class, remembering, understanding; during class, applying, analyzing; and after class, if there are projects, you can do evaluating and creating. So this is very easy this is a very useful technique to apply higher level of thinking. Bloom's taxonomy objectives very easy. NBA objectives also can be very easily implemented by using this. You see this reversing this flipped learning, because it is the learning is flipped. The Bloom's taxon is flipped. That is the reason why it is called as a flipped. This is a flipped woman you see here. So lower level is taking place outside. Regular traditional lower level is taking place in the classroom, and higher level is taking place at home. But in this case, lower level is happening at home and higher level is taking place in the classroom. And flipped learning has got 4 pillars. If you apply the 4 pillars, it becomes very easy to apply the flipped learning. First one is should be flexible. Work should be flexible. We should be able to change very easily. Independent. Teacher should be flexible. Teacher should not be rigid. You should not think I am the boss. Depending on the situation, you should be able to change. This is called as a flexible. The second one is learning centered. It is not a teacher centered. It is not the learner centered. It is a learning centered. In this case, learning is happening. Teacher is important, then the student is important. The most important thing is learning is important. In this case, student centered engagement. Student involved in knowledge construction. It is not by-hearting subject. It is not mugging. It is not rote learning. And content should be intentional content. Content should be planned properly. Unless you properly plan in content, this will not give right results. Professional, this means he should be able, the teacher should be a professional one. He should take responsibility. He should not blame students. He should not mistreat students. He should collaborate with other teachers and other students. So these flipped learning means flexible, and then learning centered, intentional content, and then professional approach. When these things they are there, student engages in the classroom completely, and student learning happens at a higher level of Bloom's taxonomy. Higher level of outcomes will come out. Higher level of thinking is developed. The student will be more creative and more innovative, more value adding. The student will be more value adding. So how wealth is created? Wealth is created when you do value adding work. When you do value adding work or value adding service, the wealth is created. So because of this flipped learning, the student is engaged and the student is more valuable. He can create more value. The student can create more value in the job he is doing, and to the company he is working, and adding value to the world. Flipped learning is the 4 pillars of flipped learning we should be able to understand. So we can take this as 4 steps. The first step is lessons. In what lessons are to be videographed? Know those lectures. Outline the key learning outcomes. Make a notes of what you want to make, an audio or a video or a document. This is the first step. Second step, record. the video or audio using Zoom or OBS. Screencast techniques are there. Many free techniques are there. You can even use PPT also. You can 365 PPT also. You can record the videos, and you can screen record, and this becomes the, you have to make the video. You have to first of all create the content and then make the video, and then share it to the students by different mechanisms. If the college has got a management system, learning management system, you can keep it there, so only the students who are in the program only can access that. Or we can send by WhatsApp and different methods, we can send those material. And then the fourth one is monitor, and monitor the students, how far they learnt, monitor. And learn how you conduct a quiz examination after seeing the video, and after seeing the audio or after the PPT. Give a multiple question or some other format, give questions, and separate the students into better students and ordinary students, and form groups which is heterogeneous. Some top ranked students, some lower ranked, some students who learned the subject better, who understood less, based not the previous MSET ranks or other ranks. So by the knowledge, based on the knowledge in the subject, they are based into groups so that they can share more, and then they discuss. And then here, after the ending of discussion, the teacher will debrief what so far happened, and what was taught and what is experience, what they have to do. So by using the 6 steps: planning, recording, sharing, monitoring, and group and monitoring and debriefing, the all the activities of flipped learning are satisfied. So I'm repeating a number of times. I'm repeating this process a number of times. I'm also talking about the advantage of the times number of times, so that it will be impressed in your mind. It is photographed in your mind. That's why I'm repeating the same process a number of times. My dear friends, flipped learning application is very easy. With the Zoom software, free software, you can always record videos. You make a PPT and just sit before that and record it. You just talk and record it. Send it to the student. Make only 7 to 8 minutes, not more than 10-minute videos. Is your 1 hour lecture can be videographed in some two or three 8-minute videos. They are sufficient. There is no repetition in that. And then send them. If necessary, edit them. Initially, you may face a little bit of problem, but soon you can do that. You can share them by using different methods. My dear friends, I wish every teacher who is participating here will at least apply one unit or few lectures with flipped learning, and share your learning experience with others. Actually, I will be sharing later on how to assess also. Outside this seminar, I will share them to Dr. Sam Sevarok. He will share that with you. I will share about how to monitor these things, what are the research results. I will be sharing some of the literature with Dr. Sam Sevarok, who will be sharing that with you. I wish that we want a strong India. We want our colleges to succeed. We want us to be successful. Flipped learning is one shot, not two birds. 10 problems are solved. Here, majorly there are three things in a flipped learning or any learning. There are three things. One is the content. What content you are going to present in the unit, curriculum, POs and COs, Bloom's taxonomy. Based on this, to satisfy these things, make the content. And then pedagogy, it should not be the lower level, it should be a constructivist. That means higher, it is not a behaviorist, it should be constructivist. That means it is collaborative, cooperative. The student creates his own knowledge, that is called the constructivist. So pedagogy is also enhancing technology. In a classroom we are using a blackboard, regular classroom, using charts, and here you are using videos, audios, writing materials. All these things you are using. What technology you are going to use, and what pedagogy you are going to use, and what kind of software you are going to use. All these things you need to have knowledge. Three things. Three. I will show you one more here. This is called the TK, means knowledge about how to use technology. And then PK means knowledge about the students' learning outcomes. What is instructional methods, different educational theories. These things are important. CK means knowledge of the subject matter without consideration about teaching the matter. What is so this way? I will show you one more here. We are having these things. This is technical knowledge, and this is the content knowledge. This is pedagogical knowledge, and then how you are going to send this content knowledge plus technology. This is called as technological content knowledge, and these two are called as technological pedagogical knowledge, and these two combination is called as the PCK. And when this happens, you are having TPAC. All the things are covered in this. In a flipped learning, TPAC, if the TPAC is applied, that means this TCK and then TPK and PCK are applied, are included in the process of instruction. In the then it will be having TPAC. This will be very, very effective. You can know about this elaborately at a later stage. If you're interested in this, you can learn about this at a later stage. India, richest country till 17th century, because Indians are very skilled at the time. Please see here. India, richest country, no question about this. India and China are the richest countries in the world. Can become rich again. This requires how to teach so that every student, everyone learns effectively. Every student, every day. Our aim should be how to teach so that everyone learns effectively. Every student learns. This is a book by this name. This is a book on flipped learning with the title "How to Teach so that Everyone Learns Effectively." Every student, every day. Do they know how to learn, unlearn, and relearn? There are several bad habits with us. We are still attached to our teachers. We want to teach like our teachers taught 10 years back, 20 years back. Next, are we teaching only first and second levels of Bloom's taxonomy? I remember a story. I remember a story which my student shared with me. Mr. Murali went to US, and this happened. This is somewhere in 1998, 99, and this student was asked questions at different levels. Understand this? And the student said, "I do not know, but I know to some extent I can learn." When the question was asked, he was telling that I know to some extent, but I can learn because he has got the learning skills. So what happened was the company finally gave him a very high paid job, and they asked him, "Can you ask me a question?" They asked, "You can ask questions now." Mr. Murli asked the interview board, the vice president, "Sir, for many questions, I said I know a little bit. I did not say I'm expert, but I said I can learn. Still, you took me for the job because I said I'm not an expert. In 1997, 98, C++ and Java are extraordinary things. This is data mining and all those things were very, very high level things." When those questions was asked, he said, "I know a little bit, but I can learn." They, they replied, "My dear friend, we don't want experts. We want people who are ready to learn. The world is changing fast. You may be expert in ABC today. Tomorrow, EFGH will come. We want a person who learns EFGH. So we want people who can learn." That means people who learn at 3 and 4th levels can learn anything new. So and this person, Mr. Murali Krishna, is now a director in a reputed company in Silicon Valley. My dear friends, learn to learn skills also they learn because of this. No worry of Pakistan or China or America attacking us. When we are prosperous, when Indian students are very knowledgeable, we can beat any country in the world. A person who is rich can beat any person. No worries. And my dear friends, if you do this, 21st century is going to become the century of India after 17th century. So for this, there are some arrangements, pre-class arrangements, and then tools for responsibility for students. You should be able to conduct examinations and see whether they are doing the homework or not. And then you have to conduct activities in the classroom. You have to plan for these activities. Correspondents also have to do these things. So here there are some of the arrangements you have to make flipped classrooms successful. Summary in flipped learning, lower level, BL and Bloom's taxonomy 1 and 2 are happening in the classroom, at home, and 3 and 4 at the classroom through activities. And flipped learning is not a synonym just videos. It is not just videos. Online learning means only videos. But in flipped learning, classroom is there, face-to-face learning is there, and online is there. We are using good of both the worlds. We are using good of the online world and also the good of the face-to-face classroom. So it is a blending of direct instruction with the constructive learning. So it is very, very useful. It can change. I am repeating once again the levels. Lot of research is happening. You see here. And 2015-16, you see enhancement of, we can do research, we can collaborate. Actually, I'm planning with 3 or 4 institutes working together, apply flipped learning with recording all the results at different stages and publishing results, so that this will be useful for the other people in India and elsewhere. Because how we can apply in India is, our situations are different. Our private engineering college, self-finance are different, IETs are different. So if we can apply in our situation, this can be a great lesson for other people to implement. So a lot of research is enhancing. So this is being applied in Western countries before COVID-19. We started now. So what I feel is, if we can form a group and work together, we can share our experiences. We can implement flipped learning in our college. Suppose I gave a lecture, you just listen, you say it is excellent or not good. But what I want is, I want people to get motivated to apply flipped learning. Flipped learning is going to solve all. I'm looking at the questions you are asking the various speakers. For all the questions you are asking in flipped learning, most of the answers are there. And if we can support each other and we can see our experiences, and then I wish that this happens, and these 2-3 days we'll see that whether we can communicate, and through Dr. Samsaro we can do anything. Because I trained around 3 lakh students. I conducted training for about 5,000 people, 3 to 4 day programs where they applied the flipped learning techniques. I applied the flipped learning techniques where there is a short lectures followed by peer learning, group learning, and whether when they come back to the dais and they speak, they share. I applied this for training around. I conducted around 50-60 training programs for students, 1 day sessions, 2 day sessions in many places. Flipped learning is possible. I applied this. I have experience from the last 10-15 years. Before all this technology has come, I was using this. So again, I'm showing this. Just like a rocket, India can move. Flipped learning will come out of the problems of low attendance, disinterested students, bored students, low pass, low NBA accreditation problems, all these are solved when flipped learning with growth mindset, self-efficacy learning styles are used. Successful learning, pass percentage, grades, employment, NBA accreditation, everything becomes very, very easy. I can say that this is not actually in our college. We some of the 15 groups are implementing this idea, and some of people are implementing some one unit, some people are implementing some 4 or 5 lectures like that. So I wish I am mentoring in 2 colleges where I guide them how to apply the flipped learning. I also taking sessions through WhatsApp groups and other ways. I will be guiding them, I will be coaching them. I will be using all my experience as a teacher, as an author, as a communicator, as a researcher. My experience I will be sharing with them. I wish, let us go into action. Let us go into action. I will, I will stop this with a small story. I will with a 2 minute story. There is a land person. He has a beautiful daughter, and he wanted to give his daughter to the best person. He called Swayamvara. One person came onto the dais, said, "I am Jnani. I learnt everything. I am Jnani. I read tons of books. I can recite many slokas. I am an expert. I have a jnana. I have a knowledge." The second person said, "I am Vijnani. I have so many tools with me. I have a bow, I have an arrow, I have a radham. I have all these things. I am highly skilled. So I have all the tools. So I should be given that girl." And then suddenly a Brahmarakshasa came and took the girl away. Brahmarakshasa took away the beautiful girl, and everybody looking what to do. Jnani came to the dais again and said, "I know everything. I have a map here. You see the map here. In the map, there is a map shows the route to how to go to the Brahmarakshasa." And then Jnani came and said, "I have a radham. By the radham, using the map, you can go there. I have a sword. I have a bow and arrow. Use this, you can kill him." He said that, but nobody is going to action. The third person by name Sura came. He said, he took the map from the Jnani and took the Ratham, the chariot from the Vijnani, the sword and the arrow bow from him, and went there on the Ratham, taka 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 taka, I went there, killed with the bow and arrow, and brought back the daughter. Now, who has to be given the girl? It is asked, what do you say? I know every one of you say, Jnanam without action useless, Vijnanam without action useless. But action is very important, my dear friends. I gave you sufficient knowledge. And the internet is it. They have got tons and tons and trillions of tons of knowledge is there. My dear friends, using that knowledge, if you have that action orientation, you can. I wish you all the best. Let us work together. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A lot of research is there. I can show you research on how there are so much research where there is. I will share that thing, the PPT with through Dr. Sam Saurabh. We can have questions. Lot of improvement of lectures is improvement of results is there. Engagement is there, and also the results improvement, graduation percentage pass, everything improvement has there. There a lot of research behind that. My dear friends, I have 2 goals as on today. Now, for engineering education in next 2 years, important for India to leapfrog to next level, enhancing life skills, learning skills, and branding of students. Flipped learning in classroom. I will train, mentor, and coach students and teachers through webinars, to books, and through trainings, WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, FB groups. My email is subbaraju.author@gmail.com. My email is subbaraju.author@gmail.com. My number is also there here. You can note down those things by WhatsApp. You can give the reference and contact. What I want is I will help you to act. I will give you motivation to act. I will give you the methodology to act. Action, action, action is everything. There is only one solution to a problem. Action, action, action. I'm author of two books. These are available in Amazon, Success Secrets for Engineering Students. And then I will share this with file with you. Available in Amazon, so it costs around 150 rupees like that. I'm also bringing a Kindle book edition at a very low cost. I'll be bringing this book in 3 to 4 weeks, third and fourth week of February. I will be bringing a four series of books for engineering students, which will followed by 2 or 3, 4 books. My dear friends, this literature will be useful for students to develop their life skills, and then what is self-efficacy, growth mindset, learning skills, all those things. So, my dear friends, thank you for your patient listening. And this is a book, Zeros, Heroes, Superheroes, available in Amazon. And then Success Secrets for Engineering Students. You put Professor K V Subbaraju's books on Amazon. You can get these links, and you can, if you want, you can buy the books and you can read them. You can procure for your colleges. They are in multicolored pictures. They are in multicolored pictures are there. And soon I will be bringing book in Kindle version also, so that at a very low price I will bring in them, so that every student and every teacher can get them and use my expertise.